Good evening and welcome to Stupid O'Clock. Standing at 7 feet, 0.7 inches tall, Turkey's Rumeysa Gelgi has been named as the tallest woman living. Rumeysa has remeasured this year as she was first awarded the title for the tallest teenager living female back in 2014 when she was 18. She is now officially the tallest woman on Earth. See, her tall stature is down to a condition called Weaver syndrome, an extremely rare condition which causes accelerated growth among other abnormalities, including skeletal maturation. The condition means that Rumeysa uses a wheelchair most of the time, but can move for short periods using a walker. Ever since her first record in 2014, Rumeysa has felt it was important to use her platform to educate others about rare medical conditions such as her own. She says that her height makes people intrigued when they pass her on the street, but most people are kind and supportive when they meet her for the first time. In her free time, Rumeysa likes to go out for nice meals with her family and finds swimming really helpful for her to relax. Her family are very happy and proud of her for having the Guinness Book of World Record title again.
She has to use a walker now. I know what Chris does in his office.
It causes skeletal problems.
How tall is she again?
Just over 7 feet. She's 7 feet 0.7 inches tall. Almost 7'1".
Yeah. I had a guy I worked with. He was 7'2", but he hated saying 7'2". So told everybody he was 6'14".
That works.
And Mae West said, "Never mind the 7 feet. Let's talk about the 14 inches."
But seriously, when he'd go through the door, you could see him if he was walking fast, walking slow, as he got to the door to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Because he'd catch himself right there every time if he didn't. And we have a plethora of viewers already. We got Glenn B. Fleming, who says Stupid Clock is the right name. It's 4 a.m. here. Yeah, he's on the other side of the pond.
What the hell are you doing awake, Glenn? Oh wait, it's a weekend. You can stay up.
Yep.
And Chris is saying a double.
They haven't kicked him out of the pub yet.
Yeah.
That's
And Donna Carleen says, "Hello, guys." And Sarah is catching us for one of the first few times. So welcome.
Hey, Sarah. Love you.
And Glenn B says she's a throwback from when the giants walked the earth. Ted Davies covered that on the Truthmongers.
Yeah, they did, and did a very good job, believe me. I watched that one. Well, I've watched all of them, sometimes on repeats and sometimes live.
Glenn. And that is something Mae West would. And Glenn B never sleeps. And Chris Walker says, "Awesome." And Sarah says she has a very tall friend who's afraid of heights. True story.
I'm not afraid of heights. I just love the climb.
Well, let's see. Now I mentioned pubs earlier. I'm wondering, what time do they close pubs on Saturday night? Because I know a lot of English towns are very religious. So
as late as they're allowed to.
I'm sorry, I was deaf because I had to untangle my cord. Sorry about that.
Happens when you get older.
Yep.
Oh, Chris, awesome is in regards to all of us, as well as Sarah are being here for the first time that we know of.
Well, the first time in so long that we don't remember her being here before.
I've seen her here before, I'm pretty sure.
Well, she's a charming lady. You wouldn't forget her, believe me.
Oh, and Moon Pie has a new flavor out.
If you say pumpkin spice, I'm going to beat you to death with a wet noodle.
No.
That is not a moon pie. That is a moon cookie. I remember when moon
Yeah.
pies were as big as your hand.
This big.
You can still get them that big. They just make
Yeah.
the minis and such.
Yeah, this is just the mini. It is chocolate mint.
Oh, that sounds good.
It tastes like the two thin mint chocolate Girl Scout chocolate cookies with marshmallow between them.
I
Mm.
thought you were going to say it tastes like two Girl Scouts with a
Yeah, I was like, oh,
Oh, we're off the rails already. Thank you, Dan.
They'll be busted in Joe Dog's door any minute now.
No, they'll be coming after me.
thank you, Glenn.
And Glenn says the pubs can stay open all night with a new law. And but they normally close just after midnight.
It's like down here in Ringgold, all the grocery stores sell beer and wine, but we don't have any liquor stores.
Thank you, Sarah.
We have all the above.
It's funny. I can go to Chattanooga, buy hard liquor. I can go down to Dalton, buy hard liquor. But not here in Ringgold.
Hey,
They were changed that law. My family's actually thinking about opening a liquor store.
when we were over in England visiting Lindsay's family, you could go to the grocery store and buy Southern Comfort or Jack Daniels or whatever any day of the week, any time of the day the store was open. It was right there next to the bread, believe it or not. They had the liquid bread next to the solid bread. I just love British grocery stores. They're just so complete.
Yeah, yes, they are.
Except cookies or biscuits and biscuits or cookies or...
Yeah, and fries or chips and chips or
Crisp.
Crisp.
And, crisp is something you left on the burner too long. And bacon is kind of strange, but
Which actually Pringles, didn't they, when they originally came out as Pringles newfangled potato chips, weren't they actually called potato crisp back then, or am I wrong?
I don't remember.
I always remembered them as Pringles. They never called them potato chips, actually. It was just
Yes,
Pringles.
Glenn, it was a Tesco. Yes, indeed. I have fond memories of Portsmouth, South Sea, Causham. That's my wife's hometown, Causham, England, and she would go down to Portsmouth and then get on the ferry and go over to South Sea and go to school and things like that. And she said the ferry was it was a little bit rough getting across the what you call it to get to the ferry itself, especially when she was wearing high heels and she'd have to try not to step in the crack between the planks.
Ramp, yeah.
Yeah.
What
Glenn says that
Hey,
potato
Brian.
chips. But Dan, do you remember when I had my ghost hunting crew, the British fella I had, Stephen Drew?
Vaguely, yeah.
Okay. We were out somewhere and he ordered, well, he's sitting there looking, he goes, I think I'll have a hot dog and some chips. And I turned to him and said, Stephen, they don't sell French fries here. No, I want a bag of chips.
Oh, he'd already learned the lingo. Yeah.
Hey, just so you know, Stupid O'Clock does have rails. That's
Yeah. Oh, they fixed them.
yeah.
Wonderful.
We're going off the rails on a crazy train.
And
yeah,
I guess I was wrong because they were actually called Pringles newfangled potato chips. And I remember they were in 2-packs. And I feel like we've been so ripped off now because they haven't sold them in twin packs is what they called them back then.
Believe me, they're using that new oil to do everything in. So if you eat an entire tube of Pringles, you're going to have what they politely call digestive
Plastic acceleration.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say digestive difficulties the next day, which is pretty much.
Oh no, you won't have problems digesting. It's just keeping it that you're going to have problems with.
It will be an explosive decompression is pretty much what I was going to get at.
Oh no, the Pringles in the United States are on tubes too. They just don't make that 2-pack anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no. They haven't
Now-
done that for a long time.
Now
Well,
you
if you buy the snack packs, I think they put 6 of them in a package.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's-
now do you remember what I think it was at Spalding? Is that or Wilson? Who makes the tennis balls?
Spalding.
Spalding, yeah.
Yeah.
When Pringles came out with the chips in the tennis ball can, Spalding for about 6 months started sending out tennis balls in potato chip packs.
That sounds like sarcasm to me. Oh, Wheaties. Brian. Believe me, Wheaties are the last thing on my breakfast menu. No.
Oh, Dan, I've got you scheduled for a 9 o'clock panel on Saturday morning.
What subject?
Cereal.
I can write cereals, but I don't eat them anymore.
Bring a knife, you can get a serial killer.
Believe me. Now, was that a joke, or do you actually have me on a panel?
No, I just want to see how you react to having to get up early enough at 9 o'clock and to hit a 9 o'clock panel on Saturday morning.
Get up. What is this get up that you're speaking of? I've been on night shift for the last week. I don't even go to sleep until 11 a.m.
Yeah. Brian says, Dan, I'm on that panel too, I think.
Well, Brian, I'll bring the whetstone and you bring the knife, and we'll chase Joe Dog around the convention together.
No,
If you're
Brian
going to chase him around a
volunteered.
convention, bring an axe. I mean, that's...
Until you start smelling popcorn.
Yeah.
Then we need to pull out the flamethrower. And if we don't have a flamethrower, a can of WD-40 and a cigarette lighter will do.
You do that, the whole place will go up.
It's not my damn hotel.
I've got a propane weed torch.
Now, I used to take a can when we went camping, a can of WD-40 for fire starter.
Yeah. Best fire starter I was ever recommended was flares.
Railroad flares?
Well, I don't know about railroad, but road flares. Guy recommended, the ones with a spike on the bottom. You pop it and light it and throw it in the ground when you've got car trouble, and people will drive around your car instead of through it that way. But
that's a very expensive way to start a fire, though.
Not really. The darn things are not that expensive. But and you'd only need one every 20 years or thereabouts when you're actually camping and it rains.
We used to get the railroad flares at the fireworks store, and you could use them to light fireworks. That's what they sold them for. But those things burn for a good 5 minutes. And yeah, I've still got a scar on my foot from where I dropped a bit of hot phosphorus down inside my shoe. So.
Well, Veterans Benefits is your friend. No, the ones that I've got are supposed to be good for half an hour. They're old.
I'll tell you, the best thing is dryer lint in a toilet paper tube filled with wax.
Yeah, that one works good as well. Let's see, there were some other things.
Cotton balls and alcohol.
Or Vaseline.
Well, cotton balls and alcohol, you can start a fire and it won't add any flavor to your cooking fire.
That's true. That's true.
We used to just roll newspaper tightly together like a log, and in essence it was like a fire log, and you trim one end and just light it, shove it underneath.
When I was a kid,
Let me ask you a question for the younger people in here, Bill. What's a newspaper?
Well, long time ago.
I can still remember.
Yeah.
oh, have you
Boys
heard-
and girls, come on up here around the campfire and let Grandpa Billy tell you this story.
I have not confirmed this yet, but apparently the Chattanooga Times Free Press is going all digital, no more paper.
They are putting out a Sunday paper.
Oh, they're going to put out Sunday. Just everything else is going to be digital.
Everything else is digital. My dad.
All right.
My dad has already.
For people that want to make their own fire lighters at home, scratch newspaper off your list. You're always going to have plenty of junk mail.
Yes.
Yep.
Basically, you take some old candle wax and heat it up on a double boiler, and you take your junk mail and dip it in the wax, and as it's drying with your nice protective gloves on, you roll it up into a cylinder about the size of one of Bill and Ted's cigars, and it will burn long enough to light a fire in just about any kind of weather you want.
You know the old green military angle head flashlights?
Yes.
Everybody clipping on their ear.
Oh, wow. We've got a celebrity.
Whoa!
Hey, Nick.
Look who's here!
Nicholas.
We've timed things out, so I figured I'd come crash the party whenever I can.
Hey.
Welcome back. Glad to see you.
I hate that I can't come down to HallowCon this year, but I'm really glad. I wanted to give you guys up. Mandy had a coworker give 2 days notice at a professional level job.
Oh.
So we actually had to reschedule vacation. It's been an absolute debacle. And I'm trying to do a move before the snow hits because we've got a storage unit up north I'm tired of paying for. But
Yeah.
it is
But
the
Nick-
most beautiful time of the year, guys. How are you?
Nick,
You look good, Joe.
Nick, I've got a special intro just for you. You ready?
Oh, Lord.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
Yes. Yes. I feel that in my soul. And it is a balm. I'm just kind of cruising into the right spirit of the season. Literally just got done watching
We have
Bela
Keisha.
Lugosi's Dracula. Life is good. Hello. Yeah,
Well,
there are
Nick,
a couple beautiful
it
guys.
could be worse. We could bring HallowCon to you.
Bum bum bum. Don't y'all threaten me with a good time. I've seen how you guys cook.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Me and John gonna be cooking chili at HallowCon. Everybody else decided they're too sick to come, so rather than
Apparently, we're going to be eating a lot of chili.
I'm really shooting as a possibility for next year. It's one of those, you shift the gears. Hi, Brian. How are you? Now, I don't know if anyone's heard of Rising Tide Publications, but of the 3 people who are watching this at any given point, I do hope you follow it. No,
Actually, we've got a good crowd watching. We've got 11 watching. 3
Wonderful.
on our
12.
YouTube.
That may be a record.
12,
Yep.
yeah, 3 on YouTube, 1 on
we've never heard of
Twitch.
the Rising Tide.
Yeah, exactly.
now,
I would
just-
never shamelessly
Joe,
plug
I'm one of them, so that's
Oh, okay.
Me too, actually, because I haven't turned off my Facebook on the other side. But that's okay. I do that all the time. But yes,
Brian, get in here.
Brian, yeah, it's not like you can't click a link.
Hey, Brian, Glenn, Chris, Keisha, come on, let's get everybody in here. It'll be like the
most
green
of you
room,
weren't
except I
here
can't
for
make
last
jokes.
night's Tweed room. Because
Yeah.
apparently me making jokes about Brian Rodman as Jessica Rabbit
Oh, and
just too much for
now,
Carl Witzman.
now we find out why you're not coming to HallowCon because
I'm not saying that Carl Witzman has a bounty out on me for that set of jokes.
I don't
But,
think it would be Carl.
Oh no,
It'd
no,
probably
no.
be the object of your drawing.
Well, see,
Oh.
I only lampoon people I love and respect. You know,
You got that
That's
one,
one of
Joe?
No.
John?
Oh,
Yeah.
have we got somebody?
Yeah.
So after the first one, I told them I'd do more, so I did a limited 1-page comic of Brian Rodman as Jessica Rabbit singing
Mm-hmm.
asking about tacos. I don't know what's going to happen to this lovely little 4x6 piece of history, but I'm sure something will because people made the mistake of challenging me. I don't play cards because I don't bluff, folks.
I messaged
If
you,
I
Brian.
I don't want to alarm Nick, but I did actually drive by Carl and Donna's house today, going up north into Danville. And the machine gun nest that they have up on the top floor of their house was missing the machine gun. So
that explains the black van that's been creeping down my road regularly. Hi, Donna. But yeah, see, we have to take careful care in this season to be respectful and calm. And oh, heck no. Now, see, I'm having a wonderful time of late, and I've been there's a podcast called Old Gods of Appalachia, and if you haven't gotten to listen to it, it sounds like I'm sitting in a room with a relative of Dan Hollifield. It's not. I'm not even kidding. It is great. I'm like, oh God, I love this. Just
Hey,
sit
I
down
got lots of relatives, and not all of them have tentacles.
Hey,
Yeah.
you have a good one.
Good
Glenn.
night, Glenn. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you jumping in from other
See
side
you,
of the
Glenn.
pond.
So
Good
much
morning,
for never
Glenn.
sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
Chris,
forgot we're
Chris
international.
said he would jump in, but unfortunately, he's doing HallowCon preparations. I was telling John about one of the HallowCon preparations
Wait a
that I
minute.
was working on.
HallowCon preparations. Would that be preparation H?
Ooh.
No, that would be
And with that,
preparation.
You
H.
say preparation
Brian
H,
K.
and then
Morris.
Brian K. Morris appears.
Right on.
Speaking of pains
Hell,
in the ass,
you just made it 2,000% more sexy on here. We
Yeah.
better watch it. We'll get bumped off of YouTube for being too. Hey, see, Brian, you weren't here. You weren't here for the tweed room that I stole from Uncle Carl.
The tweed room. Okay.
I did a full page because
Damn.
I am not afraid to go insane depths because the humor has forced my hand, and
Oh, I
we know
understand.
Brian Rodman, whom I hope you're seeing this, Brian. I'm saying nothing I wouldn't say to your face. Like all of us, he needs his ego, addressed at one point.
And he also
Did you say addressed or undressed?
well,
Hey, why don't you do like
kind
so
of blows
many
nail
other
under
guys
the
do?
comment that I was
But-
about to make.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ace. From the
No,
whole
what-
man.
Yeah, what I was telling y'all about, I was working on our Grillzilla to get everything ready,
Yeah.
and I couldn't get one end of the burners to light. I was checking. I actually got to the point of pulling the valves off and poking down in the valves, trying to get everything working. I'd go check the tank. There's pressure in the tank. I'd go back. There's no pressure coming out of the hose. Finally, I get to tracing the line from the hoses back, and it goes all the way up to the line that is not connected to any tank. It takes 3 tanks to run the grill. I only had 2 hooked up.
You are truly one of us, Joe Dog. One of us.
This is why we don't let him drive in Atlanta traffic.
Well, see, now the trick is what you need to see. I've got enough northern ties. You get yourself a Wisconsin 2-lane V-fronted snowplow, And then you let Joe Dog drive in Atlanta traffic, and I get to watch the news report with the popcorn, and life is everybody wins. The surplus population is addressed. A bunch of vehicles are destroyed, so it helps the environment. Joe Dog finally gets that therapeutic release upon the world. I
And
see this as a
And the
win-win
news is
across
actually
the board.
interesting for a change.
Yeah,
Because it's
and
not
it'll
about
actually
politics.
increase
I'm all
car
about
sales.
that.
It'll actually
Yeah.
increase car sales.
And
It
insurance
stimulates the
and lots
economy.
of, yeah.
I mean, if you take out 14, let's say you take 42 cars off the road in Atlanta, that's going to be a raw value of about $125. So, that's going right back into the used car market. I'm telling you.
You haven't driven through Atlanta lately, have you?
Oh no.
You go 3 car lengths, that's over $100,000 right there, and that's
There's
just
a
the
movie.
insurance.
There's a movie out about a guy who's a getaway driver for heist called Baby Driver.
Yes.
Okay. You ever see it? Really good action stunts and such. But it takes place in Atlanta. Okay. And it shows him driving at high speed through Atlanta during banking hours. And I'm like,
No.
That'll never
You mean
happen.
like 24?
that just shot the whole movie in the foot right there.
Yeah, it's got to be like Sunday morning at 3 a.m. before you can reach a high speed. I mean, over 35.
Yeah, I see. Let's see. Slow and expensive. That is not my scene at all. Let me get it like some of my exes, poor and fast. No,
Okay.
that's a joke. That is a joke, y'all. Don't find me and put more hoodoo on me. Like scary lot them.
Hey, Chris. It's Atlanta. The roads are always blocked off, whether you want them to be or not.
Yeah.
There's a bypass around Atlanta for a reason.
Yeah, they call that the what'd you call it, Dan? The Dixie 500?
The Watermelon 500.
Watermelon 500. Hey, the people on 285 think that's the recommended speed limit.
No,
sounds about right.
They are pissed that they cannot manage it.
Yeah.
Their lack of skill does not make an emergency on my part. I'm sorry.
Hey, there are 3 things I can guarantee you in this world: death, taxes, and road construction on 285.
Lord, yes.
Sounds like Route 65 up here, but no. Yeah, see,
true.
I don't even bother with it because I have an SUV, but it's not like a great big one. It's a medium-sized one, and you have to have a Suburban or larger to hit both sides of the pothole, or else you just fall in. Yeah, see, I have no business with that. But see, that is actually a cleverly designed national defense system. You see, that's why the Center for Disease Control is based in Atlanta. Because if anybody ever broke in and stole one of the, something, they still could never get out. It's all a living moat, really. Exactly. Oh,
that's what you need for Atlanta traffic.
But that's like putting Sweet Baby Ray's on meat. That is a solution for almost any problem. Okay.
Oh, a good barbecue sauce covers a multitude of sins.
Somebody bring something up real quick, like a picture like that again, please.
Huh? What?
I'm going to show Brian something.
Okay.
Somebody share something up real quick.
Okay, let me try it again.
That's the tech side of things.
Make it a full size. No, make it a full size picture.
I feel better about my skills.
Well, I can't.
Oh.
Okay. Now that I've already buggered this up.
Here, I'll do it.
No, I don't need to lick that thing.
I'll do it. I got one.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. Now, does it work with any picture or
It
just
should.
videos?
It should. When you share screen. All right, John, go ahead. Do the magic.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like that. That's
Okay.
nice.
Okay. Ooh, we're across the bottom.
Yeah. Or you can throw us up to the side or back to the
Ooh.
bottom.
Now,
He
is this
throws
a-
on top.
I like this across the
No.
bottom bit.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Now, is this a
Yeah.
StreamYard thing or?
This is
That's
StreamYard.
what she said. Yes.
Ooh. Ooh.
Is
I
your
didn't
StreamYard
get a
low?
chance
Does
to
it
watch
wobble
last
to and
week,
fro?
so
Can you
yeah,
tie it in
watch
a
the
knot?
show.
Can you tie it in a bow?
StreamYard has a new thing, people.
Yep, that's a new StreamYard feature. Since
And
you're
they
in here,
just-
I thought I'd show
Yeah.
it to you.
We were.
They just whipped it out.
Pardon
This
me
is the
while
late
I
night
whip
show,
it.
Bill. So
Well, StreamYard is on my 2022 plan. You know, I think I downloaded it in 2020 and I looked at it a couple times and went, yeah, I'm doing too much right now. So
Yeah,
you
Chris,
know,
Chris is right. The disease samples are at another location, and most don't know where that is.
and let's not.
I will put it to you this way. It is highly armed and probably guarded by the United States military.
yeah.
Well,
I would hope
if
so.
it's the place I'm thinking about,
Yeah.
you can't get close to it because they've been using it to test biological agents and chemical agents and nuclear agents. So you would literally poison yourself trying to get to it.
The south side of Chicago?
Newport, Indiana.
Detroit? No, Northwest
No,
Indiana.
it's in Atlanta, but yeah, you don't
East St. Louis.
Hey,
What do you think they keep? What do you think they keep in that arch? It's like
Well, what you don't know is the whole world is actually one big keychain, and that's just where it plugs right in. You know, guys doing the next Men in Black movie, hit me up for more bizarre visual gags. You know, but
I see it right now. Something reaching down and clipping the St. Louis
Yep.
Arch and a big chain up to the
Yeah.
sky.
oh god, heaven help us! You just see a big finger hook it, pull it out, and it's just the pin.
Yeah, and Missouri explodes 10 seconds later.
Grief.
Ugh.
I went to the living room. Lindsay is playing a video. I thought it was Pomp and Circumstance, but it's actually an orchestra in Britain playing Land of Hope and Glory, which is a version of Pomp and Circumstance that I am not overly familiar with, but I do recognize. Good Lord. For a minute there, I was back in high school and I'm going, damn, I can't drive anymore. I'm not old enough.
I've got a copy of that that song from The Who. It was on extended play of A Quick One While He's Away.
Ooh, wow. Very nice.
That's one thing. You guys have the best musical taste. I love hanging out around you.
Oh,
folks,
you
'cause
wouldn't
it's like-
wouldn't say that if you'd seen the stuff I posted tonight. A lot of Frank Zappa.
You say that you
Nothing
say
wrong with
Frank Zappa like it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Doesn't make sense. You said bad and then you said Frank Zappa. What the
Yeah,
hell?
these two
Doesn't
things.
make
well,
sense.
there was one I dedicated to the American incel movement. It was,
Somebody
Okay.
posted on Facebook the other day this thing. It showed a guy putting a cassette tape into a radio in a pickup truck, and he goes, "Your dad's in the pickup truck, and you just put in a tape. What are you listening to?" And I put in, well, it's either Creedence Clearwater Revival, Steppenwolf, or Foghat. And I got this huge list of people going, "Your dad was awesome."
You just put in like a list of things I am not legally allowed to listen to on the road due to the cost of insurance. I am under standing orders after a few too many tickets that should Steppenwolf's Magic Carpet Ride ever come on, the radio goes off, the car goes off, and the keys are no longer in my hand. I have to I can't. Last time, no.
Back when I was delivering pizza, one of the customers was told, "Well, we can't get the pizza to you for about 20 minutes." So all right, whatever. So, anyway, I walk in, the pizza's ready to go, put it in the car. Turn on the radio, or turn on the car. Radio comes on. Sammy Hagar, I can't drive 55.
Oh.
I got their pizza to them in 5 minutes.
If you would have been listening to Radar Love, you might have got it to him in 3.
That's right.
Hey,
Radar Love is how you get out of the loop in Chicago and into Michigan City in about 45 minutes.
Yep.
I am intimately Radar Love is a problem song. You guys are like you're summing up some evil on folks because like you put some fog hat on. Okay, sure.
Hey,
Your car will grow a T-top. It
Nick,
doesn't matter what it is. Enough fog hat, that car gets a T-top.
Nick, drop some Mother's Finest in there and see how fast you go.
you will get there before they order the pizza.
Yeah.
Dear Lord. Y'all.
There is no other.
Yeah. Brian, do you remember Mother's Finest?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, and you mentioned Foghat. I remember the great Larry Lujak out of Chicago when he was at WCFL, the Voice of Labor. He got the first time he played Free Ride. He said he played it, and then he said, "I don't care what the FCC says. They say you can't play 2 songs in a row. Screw them. I love this song. They rhymed the word sleazy." And so he played it again.
Well,
I remember in the late, probably middle 80s when Steve Dahl and Gary Meyer were on WLS.
Oh God!
Just before they stopped playing music, they would get on this kick every once in a while of songs that they hated more than anything else. And of course, Debbie Boone's "You Light Up My Life" came up.
Yeah.
And they said, there's a reason why we hate this. And this woman came on there and they put her on the air and she says, how dare you hate? That's a beautiful song. It's the #1 song. It beat out all these other rock groups and stuff at the time, which it did for 1977 because you had disco kind of all over the place. And that was one reason. But anyway, so Steve Dahl, in his infinite wisdom, said, okay, you like it so much, we're going to play it. They played You Light Up My Life, I think it was 12 times in a row, back to back to back. And then finally, Dahl said, that's it, I've had it, ripped the thing off, and he said, that's it. He says, the tape is gone, it no longer exists, it will never be played on WLS again.
Yep.
And
like
probably 3 years after that is when they stopped playing music.
Yeah. Sarah, I do not, whatever comment about BKM licking something slid through so fast, we missed it. No. Ah!
There goes. It happened. Damn bots.
My new NFT. You can get this now, okay?
No. Sarah at some point said something about posting German goth concerts.
Yeah.
I love music in foreign languages that I don't understand, but makes me want to face punch people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, until you said face punch
that.
people, I thought you were going to talk about that Mongolian band, the
Who.
The Who, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Who?
I love them. I can only listen to like maybe
They're
3
on
songs
first
in a row. Yes. Well.
Followed by yes. Anyway.
Well, guess who's on second?
I
think they're third on the bill, yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But, yeah.
Maybe I should save the other remark for the after show.
Probably. If you're concerned,
knowing
probably
me.
good reason. But no, it's I either
Who
like
was
really
in Atlanta a few weeks back? Inquiring minds want to know.
I got this Who box set that has like 5,000 CDs in it, and it has virtually everything. I remember buying it off of Greg Wilson at Chart Records downtown in Danville, and paid, I think, a whole week's salary from Lowe's Home Improvement at the time to get this thing. But it has the most obscure songs that the Who did, all the outtakes and that. And of course, their version of the Batman theme song was in there, but so much other stuff that was just out of this world crazy.
Don't make me bring the 10 terabyte hard drive to HallowCon. Okay, all the movies you would want for Halloween, 8 gigabytes of music, 5 gigabytes of cartoons. Oh Lord, every Star Trek episode ever made, every Doctor Who episode ever made.
When you were talking about,
so you're saying you probably have the Who sellout on there, and you can.
I probably have
with Marianne with the shaky hand.
I probably have them singing. Shall we say nursery rhymes in grade school? You know, it was a complete collection that I somehow found on the internet.
Now, did this record store ever make it up north? There was a record store that, I mean, it was infamous. They opened one in Chattanooga. It didn't last long, but they made it up here. I mean, that's when records started dying to DVDs. But it was called Peaches Records and Tapes.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of that.
There you go, Dick.
Rising Tide Initiative over here.
Now, Dan, do your Steve Martin impersonation from the movie. What is it, Brian?
Oh, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Yeah, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
I don't have a teacup with a fork in it, you know.
No, I'm talking about the one where he has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
He's sitting at the dining room table.
Yes, I'm trying to avoid that reference.
Yeah.
Interesting, Sarah.
There's a shot. There's
Just
a shot
not
for
your
that.
battle.
There's a vaccine.
No, that's
Well,
that's
she
fascinating.
needs Star Trek injected in her to get over it.
And oddly
I'm
enough,
sure Data would be
one of the
fully
things my
functional.
brother found
But,
out about from his genealogy research is that back in 9 AD, I had an ancestor named Woden who was a Viking chieftain. So the eye patch I can pull off and not be culturally appropriating anything.
How is it that I travel in circles where you're like,
Are you
you're
dizzy
the
yet?
third or fourth person who can pull that kind of line out that I've talked to this week? Yeah, it's like,
And be believable.
Oh yeah, like I could call up some friends and have a whole Odin the Wanderer theme party and just be like, yeah, come as you are, it'll be fine. Yeah. Like, I got spears and ravens waiting, you know. We'll just hand them out as party favor.
let me call the birds.
Hey,
But
bird.
I don't mean.
Alfred Hitchcock. Bum, bum, bum,
Well, no, I was thinking.
Yeah, I've got a
I
bird
was
call. Hey,
thinking
bird.
more of,
Over here.
you know, Jimmy Page and them, but
hey, Brian,
That's-
Yes, Joe. Oh, Joe. You know what I like.
yeah. Well, and we'll
1 week from today. 1 week from today.
we'll assist Cookie in getting you to your room. I have a wheelbarrow.
Thank you.
Donna has her own jar to share with you guys.
Cool.
Oh, you gonna get Donna Carleen to share her jar?
Yeah.
In 30 seconds, Joe will be unable to see for about 2 weeks.
No, just give him a second. He
Like he could
clearly
speak
now the
before
rain
that.
is coming.
Okay.
No, I'm
Joe,
looking
you're
forward-
supposed
I'm
to
looking
say-
forward next week.
You're supposed
Whoa.
to say smooth.
There she is. Let her speak. Oh.
Okay, you know what this reminds me of?
What?
The movie The Great Escape, where they're making moonshine out of potatoes,
Yeah.
and they're all taking a little taste test of it.
Yeah.
And the first guy's like, "Wow." The second guy's like, "Wow." And there's a third guy. He's always in on it. He's like,
No, I made the mistake of trying to breathe while swallowing.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that was definitely a shine-induced vapor lock.
Yeah,
I may not drink, but boy, have I escorted people through being the designated guy.
Oh,
no, it drifted backwards up through the sinuses, and I couldn't.
Oh. Ooh.
oh, Joe, if you did it right, it evaporates before it ever hits your tongue.
Oh, it
Your tongue evaporates.
It evaporated right through his
Your
brain.
tongue
It just went,
evaporates. Yes, that is one.
Dan, you remember the
I remember. Believe me.
I respect
when
that.
people take that first sip, they go, "That's not too bad." I said, "Yeah, wait, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1," and point at him. And right where I point, that's where the burn begins.
I have a feeling I'm being set up, and I'm looking forward to it.
Mm. Sarah, I'm only going to bring the Doctor Who hard drive. I'm not going to bring the 10 terabyte hard drive because it's too difficult to unplug from the rest of the system.
I would give you the suggestion: look into Babylon 5. The first season can be a little soap opera-ish because it took them a little bit to find their spirit. But I will tell you, my answer to the great Star Trek, Star Wars debate is and has always been Babylon 5. If you like good character development, the best written women in sci-fi, yeah, I said it. I'll drop that down. I'll stand by it too.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Johnny Quest there for a second.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, Joe Dog, by the way,
Yes, sir.
he says hello.
Okay.
Oh, you know him too.
I just met him last week. Yeah.
Oh,
When you
he's a
mentioned my
wonderful
name,
guy.
what did you do?
He lit up. His face brightened, and he was like, "Oh my God, you know him? How do you know him?"
Did you tell him you were going to be guest of honor at
Yes, I
HallowCon's?
did. Yes, I
Well,
did. He
He's a thorn
congratulated
in
me.
my side. Yes.
Yeah.
Did he smile even bigger?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I got to go to the beer.
Then he started talking bad about me.
No, no, no,
Doesn't
no, no.
everybody?
No, he had
Yeah.
nothing but lovely things to say about you.
I'd love to have him as a guest, but for him, that is his prime time.
Oh no, I get it. In
That's
fact,
his Christmas.
Yeah, in fact, he and I are going to do something together, probably a special edition of Clever Title pending.
Oh,
But I can't contact him till after November 1st.
yeah, until after Halloween.
Right? Yeah.
When you do
I get it.
when you do it, give me some advance warning so I can clear my schedule.
Promise. Yeah, I'm telling you right now that I'm probably going to do a special broadcast for a very limited audience. It's not just going to be like people like this one here, my Patreon subscribers and some people, present company included, who are special to me, and we're going to have a very special audience. Then we'll replay it later on the channel. So,
with Dacre.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did he teach you how to say his name?
No, I very cleverly waited for somebody else to address him.
Yeah.
And a couple of people did it wrong. He corrected them, and I'm like, I know what I'm doing.
Work.
I just look stupid.
I just barely.
I'm the whole package. I can
just
look
now.
stupid. I can be stupid. Whatever y'all need. I mean,
Okay, Chris, the comments are rolling by here on this side so fast. What did you say was on hiatus? I'm sorry. There's conversations going on 5 different channels, I believe.
Evidently, his ATIS has been smoking something. I just barely escaped with
anus
my
is
life.
now-
Lindsay is listening to the national anthem in the living room. Her national anthem. The only way I was able to escape with my beer was to go, "God save the Queen," and run out of the room.
Well, at this point, we all
Yes,
need
it
some
is, Chris.
savings.
It is. Clover Title Pending is currently on hiatus because we have the Dastardly Dingoes on at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays, and they're a lot more fun than I am. So
I wouldn't say that. Equally,
Oh, hi,
maybe.
Josh.
they're cool.
Maybe.
And but the thing is, this coming Tuesday is going to be a crossover between the Dastardly Dingoes and Comic Book Spectrum.
Oh, that should be a. Wait a minute. Can the world survive that kind of a crossover?
Let's hope not. This could be like Crisis
No,
on
we
Infinite
still got
Earth.
HallowCon we got to go to the next day.
That's true. Yeah. No, it's going to be a lot of fun. And the one thing I'm looking forward to, especially, is I don't have to run the boards.
Nice. Sarah, I really do think you should definitely look into Babylon 5 then, because there's very little techno babble. It's almost more.
It's babble.
Well, it's Babylon babble, but no, it's almost more. Dare I say Tolkien? There's a depth of lore, and they actually handle religion like it's a thing, not like either it's diet Buddhism, there is no try, or religion, we outgrew that eons ago. So it really, I think you should give it a shot.
You have a religion? Great. We have about 500 here, but
And Zothras is only Zothras.
Yeah, we'll
Zathras-
find a place to fit your temple
Zathras
in.
has lived hard life. He will have hard death. At least there is symmetry. No, Zathras is like one of my spirit animals. I identify with Zathras. Zathras and I have walked the path where we talk to dirt because dirt understands.
Oh, that Zathras. I thought you meant that Zathras.
Yes, yeah,
Or
no.
was it Zathras?
Zathras, not Zathras.
An important distinction.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Babylon 5 was really excellent, and are they not doing
Yes, they're going to bring it. They're going to bring out a revision to it.
Yeah, I didn't want to say remake because it's the same creators, although most of the original cast has crossed the Rainbow Bridge. So there will be very few guest appearances from original cast, if any. But Straczynski's going to be doing it, so hey,
well, see,
give it a shot.
What JMS did when he set up this arc, and people got to remember, there weren't arc shows like that back then. Everything was very episodic. As a writer, he did the same thing I do as like a game designer. When I'm setting up a game for when I run my players through, he set up contingencies where if this actor suddenly has to leave, I have a plot line that it can shift to acknowledge in world that and back. So he didn't actually get to tell the story how he wanted to, because he had to do a couple of these gear shifts. The other thing that, and I lament that I can't. There was an assistant writer. There were a couple of them, and they were very influential, especially on season 1 into 2, where they focused on the background stories. And JMS is very much a kings and generals kind of author. And his backup writer, what they did is they asked for real events from the actors' lives that they were very emotional about, and they tweaked the storylines where they could to include that. So that's why the performances are so painfully organic in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
But those were a lot of the parts that the fans loved, and JMS allegedly took some real heat. He was really hot because he felt it was pulling the B plot was pulling away from the A plot too much, and he actually fired them later, and the universe starts to feel more focused on major events. So it will be really interesting. I'm not that it won't be as good, because it'll just be different, and I'd rather see them do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Dr. Jumbo Jumbo.
Now, have y'all heard that the Stargate franchise is coming off all streaming services at the end of the
Yes.
month?
Really?
Yes.
And not that.
And there is a possibility. The reason is Amazon is buying MGM Studios.
I had heard that. Yeah.
And
I saw that earlier today, and now there is a class action suit to try and prevent Amazon from buying MGM to keep them from controlling a major motion picture studio, which never stopped Disney.
Yeah, it never stopped Disney.
Well,
now
see,
here's
and that's why
here's
Disney wants to compete.
now here's the deal. If they do get blocked, Bezos will just sue whoever's blocking them for something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
Doesn't mean he'll win, but it'll cost him lots of money.
Well,
his lawyers will be able to buy a third mansion.
Understood, sir. Well, I can understand if it doesn't have, a lot of them don't have much character plot. And in a lot of sci-fis, even beloved ones like, say, Star Wars, there's very little character development. At least in some of the more classic ones. Yeah. Now, whatever Dave Filoni, whoever he sold his soul to on the crossroads, that man can write a character arc. And he's single-handedly saving Star Wars. And they just need, I'll be the guy to say, they just need to stop making focus group Star Wars that they think will be easy to market. And let
Get rid of Kathleen Kennedy.
Thank you. Just because you look at the Clone Wars, you look at the animated Clone Wars before it. I can't say his name. My speech impediment. Well, it's like Genny. He's a genius. He did Samurai Jack. If you haven't gotten to see that micro series, the 2003 ones, watch it. It's better than all the prequels and better than all the sequels, and it holds its own against the classic trilogy, and that's saying a lot.
I'm going to tell you the best Star Wars movie, actual theatrical movie, Rogue One.
I concur. Yeah. The first rule of Star Wars is it gets better the farther you get away from the Jedi and the farther you get away from anything named Skywalker.
Yeah. Solo was pretty good too. So.
Solo was good, and it didn't get the props. A lot of people bashed it because of stupid stuff.
What I would recommend, were I in charge of a studio, is that somebody buy the rights to the Brian Daley and the L. Neil Smith trilogies of backstories for Lando Calrissian and Han Solo, and film those the way they were written.
Absolutely.
Just
absolutely.
film the Timothy Zahn. As much of a jerk as he is, just film the Timothy Zahn
death of the author.
Absolute
death of the author where Timothy Zahn is. Don't worry about his personality. The what he did with the Ark's expanded universe. If you guys haven't had a chance to read Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina, read it. Farscape's amazing. The other thing that shocks me to my core is that Mercedes Lackey's has barely been developed. I heard Heralds of Valdemar is coming out, and I am insanely excited. If they do justice to that, it's going to be the next Game of Thrones.
Both halves of them.
Ray Park. I actually have this whole shenanigan stuff with Darth Maul and the fact that my wife was pretty sure she could beat him. And I may have mentioned that on a small radio station, which caused issue. It inflamed some
Didn't
people's
you train her?
opinions.
She probably could.
Oh no. I will never. No, see, don't even imply that. She'll rise from the bed at that disturbance. My wife was a trained heavy fighter and full plate male before I met her, because women who can kick my butt are my type. You know, like I respect, like, competency is dead sexy. I've always said that. Like,
Finally, something we all have in common.
But but there are a couple titles, like, I would love to see the Rowan era that McCaffrey did. Anne McCaffrey. I cannot say her name right now, but you know who I mean.
McCaffrey.
Right.
Yep, it's not. When I was a kid, I bit my tongue in half, and every so often it just doesn't work.
Were you roller skating?
Which half?
Horizontal. Nice. No, but I fell off a jungle gym back when we had jungle gyms in pea gravel and bit through. But the whole arc around Pegasus in flight through the Rowan, it's Star Wars without the annoying Jedi. Because I'm sorry, sexless space wizards can only go so far, and if they would have just let them bonk, they wouldn't have had any of this dark side trouble. It was a little, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The look on my
Sexual
face
repression leads to the dark side. Yes.
You think they'd have had a breeding program,
Yeah, it's a
Or at
genetic
least a
trait.
seedy motel somewhere on the outskirts of town.
Well, Anakin had a breeding program.
Yeah.
Do you blame
Go
him?
$11.
I certainly don't,
I'm sorry, I can't watch the prequels and look at Natalie Portman in that way, because I still see her in The Professional.
The Professional? Thank you.
It just, she's that cute little girl. I always see her as that cute little girl in The Professional. Actually, it's called Leon, The Professional.
Yes.
And
Yes,
thank you.
I see that and I'm going, oh, she's just a cute little girl. No.
That cute little girl that can shoot you from 3 miles away.
Yeah.
Again, competency. Like I remember when the Addams Family movie came out. I watched the Addams Family movie, Christina Ricci's Wednesday, and I went, yes, absolutely, yes. And my dad spins, she's like 13 years old. I'm 12. This is, the Elvira Dolly Parton fixation is a little odd, but this is right on line with what I should be looking at, Pops.
Yeah, you're not
So you
at the age
like
where you're
older
going,
women,
I'll go quietly, officers,
Yeah,
Now-
exactly.
Now, a few years ago, did you see where Christina Ricci dressed up as Morticia Adams?
Yes.
That was a Photoshop, I do believe.
No, that was
No, it was real.
There's
That was
an
her.
original version, and there are a lot of Photoshops where they made her more voluptuous than she naturally is.
Yeah.
But if you
Okay.
pay attention, Morticia wasn't terribly voluptuous.
No,
I mean, she was moderately statuesque, but that's part of her kind of
well,
ethereal way.
She had, to put this politely, she had a very nice waist to hip ratio.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about the proportions. I tell people, But I'm going to get in trouble for making the reference I was about to, so I won't. Well, catch me on that one sometime.
I was going to say, did you say proportions or portions?
Yes.
That's an important distinction, Bill. Very good.
That's a very.
It is. I just wanted to make.
I can say that Christina
I was-
Ricci is attractive and Kat Dennings is attractive, and I'm okay with both. Even understanding that these are very different classes of vessel. You can like a patrol boat, and you can like a battleship. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've always heard that women should be shaped like guitarists, but then again, I love a double bass.
Oh, my friend Bill Leff just or he sent me a. Oh wow! He sent me a message in Facebook Messenger Monday morning. If you folks are up early enough to watch it, he does that little cartoon show on MeTV, and he is going to have as his guests Billy Mooney and Angela Cartwright from Lost in Space.
Yes,
yeah,
they've
they're
got
doing
their,
a tour
they've
right
got
now.
their,
They're doing a book
their
tour right now.
revised book coming out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a fella. I have the highest respect for Billy Mooney. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
just what a wonderful fella. Just because he was in Babylon 5.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like I've seen him in different periods, and
Mhm.
he's one of those actors, I think, that is so good people don't acknowledge him. You know
Yeah,
what I
because
mean?
they don't think he's acting. He's just
Yeah,
there.
you get an actor who's really good for a role, and if they're doing it right, you don't notice it till you come back later and go, "Oh." A really good villain actors are like that too. They're he's in the Suicide. I have no idea the guy's name. He's in the new Suicide Squad movie as Polka Dot Man. He was actually in the horrific MacGyver redo that came out a while ago as quite possibly the best deranged assassin I have seen in TV outside of the 80s. His version of went by the name Murdoch, but not like my Murdoch, because there wasn't, Mr. T in face with him, But no, but just fabulous. And villains rarely get credit. I would love to see an award show.
He did a great job in that new MacGyver.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, he was infinitely better than the rest of the cast. It's like, this guy is up here on the crazy. And I'm rooting for him. I'm like, I know he's a psychopathic, lunatic assassin. And at this point, I'm kind of hoping he wins. I'm sorry. He's just charismatic like that. And I don't normally do that, but he's like, yeah, you're going to love. And we need that. I am tired of repentant villains. I am tired of the 2020 era where every villain has a sob story, where their family was run over, and really I robbed all these people for what I feel is a greater good, so I'm understandable.
I have daddy problems.
It's like they either make them so much where you're like, why isn't he the hero? So they make them do something psychotic to remind you, oh wait, we're supposed to hate them. I'm looking at Killmonger in Black Panther because he did nothing wrong.
I'm still wondering why they're not the hero.
Right, but you're supposed to. Can we just have some villains who are bad, please? And I found this guy, and he made my heart. I'm about to watch A Comedy of Terrors, which is one of my favorite films of all time, with Vincent Price and Boris Karloff and Peter Lorre. These are people who understood villainy,
Did you almost say Vincent Boris Karloff?
Speech impediment time.
Might have.
Hey, that would have been a Star Trek villain that would have really raised the bar on the original series.
Joe Dog played the tape back for us and find out what Nick actually said.
It turns back. I'm actually giving whole chants in Latin backwards, sub-vocally. I don't even know. Tom Hanks is gonna bust through my door trying to solve an Illuminati problem.
Don't be summoning. We would all.
My name's Nick
really
Cocker.
nice
Conjure by it at your own risk.
There is no Cthulhu, only Zool.
Cthulhu.
Boy.
Cthulhu. I'm all about that right there.
They live in Africa. And
Brian, did you know Uncle's Carl's Secret Humor Group has a celebrity?
Other than me?
Yes.
Who?
Robbie Reist.
Oh, I saw that. And I'm like, it can't be the same guy.
It is.
It is. I went back and looked, and I'm like,
oh, good
holy
God.
crap, who brought him in?
I don't know who brought him in, but I want him on the show.
No, reach out to him.
I've been trying.
Okay.
The old network that I used to be on, he has a show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
I
very
think I don't
cool.
know if he's just brand loyal or,
That could be.
but EW said, "Go on Joe's show. You've got to do it."
That's right. That's right.
Well, Nick, I was about to say, it feels like I just got through talking to you a few minutes ago.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, see, the problem is y'all put about 20 pounds back on me just by talking because some members of Uncle Carl's secret humor group who stay up really late to have these conversations. We get in these important conversations on barbecue and acronyms, and
That's vital.
These guys, between Nick, Josh, and Joe Bachman, they're nonstop posting pictures of food later than what anybody is capable of eating food for the time of the morning. I had to get out.
No. See, like I did not
I just spent
become
a week
the
on
chunky
night shift.
monkey
I mean,
before
good
you
grief.
by keeping
Food at
limited
3
at what
a.m.
time.
Yeah, I'm there.
If I am awake, it is food time. Okay, at any point, lunch can happen, and anything can be for lunch. We're not even talking about breakfast. Breakfast not only is at any time, it can go with anything.
Exactly.
Like
Oh, Lindsay threatened me with fish and chips today, and I'm going, no, threaten me with a
Hit
good
me with
time.
a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Got some malt vinegar to go.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, and she knows how to make it correctly.
And Chris Walker
Yes, he
says,
did.
speaking of Tom Hanks, Peter Scolari died
I
Thursday.
saw that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That just,
Yeah.
That was incredibly sad. Yes, indeed. And way, way too young.
But what I was really, if there was a good side of it, I love how all the articles I've read have, yes, he was on Newhart for many years, but almost every article I've read focused on Bosom Buddies.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One
And
of
Yeah.
the funniest shows ever.
Yeah. And Tom Hanks, they say him and Tom Hanks were still friends all the way up to the end.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Couldn't doubt it.
he was in Tom Hanks' movie That Thing You Do in 1996.
I love that movie. I love that movie.
I have the soundtrack to that, and the soundtrack is on the Playtone label. It's just they go sticking right with it all the way through, and it's just a wonderful soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. I have a cover version of That Thing You Do by The Knack.
Nice.
Upbeat.
Tom Hanks
It's slightly
was really,
faster. It is really great. You can hear it on YouTube.
Sarah, Tom Hanks was on a program with the gentleman who died, and
I think so.
Now you know.
that's why he's being folded into this conversation because they were still friends. I'm used to manning on the Historical Fencing Guild. I got nobody, and I'm doing it through YouTube. So on Friday nights, I have to keep my comments, bam, 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 because too many of them have had, never mind the furthermore training where it's like, no, but let's get this 2-hour show to 6 hours again. Come on, we can do it, and it never happens, but yeah.
Was it 4 hours and 55 minutes? We've gotten it to that. Now we're in danger once again of doing a 12-hour show in a couple of weeks.
Weeks. You're talking about week
No,
from
it's the Friday after HallowCon. If I make 1,100 subscribers,
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. And
Now,
all
see,
my Russian friends are showing up.
Uh-oh.
If that can get delayed, I can be a lot more participant because unfortunately a week after Halloween happens to be my wedding anniversary. And there are things I will die for where my friends are involved. But there are things where a wise man
you have previous commitments
Nick.
here.
I would not ask you to. I want.
Oh no, because I want to.
You may
We're
want
going
to.
for 12 hours.
You
Nick.
die
You
for
can spare me
sure
5
there.
minutes.
No,
Yeah.
no. I want to be like knocking on your door with coffee, like, let's do this thing, Brian and Nick in the morning. We've got the Morning Madhouse coming at you on Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We can't run any music because we don't have the rights, and they're already trying to dig us just for me using this voice. But
right. Yeah, we can do that thing. It'll be fun. No, I'm like real damn close. I have over 800 subscribers right now. They're mostly from Russia. I honestly have no idea what's going on.
It's all those folks that used to be on your MySpace page.
Oh, well, that explains everything then. Yeah, my Friendster. Yeah, you betcha.
Your followers on TikTok.
Yeah, my comrade
doing that dance that you see everybody do that starts out with.
Oh,
You're at 8:28, Brian.
Oh boy. I better not have anything to drink the night before then, because I need my bladder all dried out and everything for the next show.
Oh, and programming note for everybody on watching on the Rising Tide: there will be no Stupid O'Clock next week for Thursday or Saturday.
And there will not be a while we're at it, there will not be a Never Mind the Furthermore on Friday morning.
Because we will all be busy.
Last time I put a recording, I peeved everyone off. So. Because there were some people that didn't realize it wasn't live, and they're like, "Why is Brian ignoring my messages?" And then the other half are going, "He's pre-taped this." Yeah, but why isn't he reading my comments?
Because he's not there.
Because it's recorded Thursday and it's being shown
and respond to comments.
He's not here now. That's pre-recorded, Brian, right there. You're looking at him.
It's Memorex, damn it. It's Memorex.
I'm an illusion. I'm like the urban spaceman. I don't exist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh.
Nick, me and Brian actually talked about him just responding to comments.
Yeah.
That weren't there.
Yeah. I may do that. I just may do that. I'll just make a list of all the regulars.
Like,
hey, Carl, that's funny. Hey,
we'll write you out a list.
Good morning.
We'll write you out a list of comments that nobody posted.
There we go.
You just respond to them as if they were real.
And
we will warp reality out of the frame once again, because we do that quite often.
And Donna says they are going to plan to attempt a green room. So
I think we all do it from the same room in HallowCon.
Yeah, and then we can just look around at each other and go, "What?"
We'll all be on our own computers.
Yeah, I know.
Fantastic. I love this.
Now here, Brian, I want to apologize now.
Okay.
While I'm in convention mode.
Yes.
All you're going to see is zip, zip, zip.
I perfectly understand. I'm probably going to talk to you this week about getting some sort of schedule if you've got it.
I'm working on it.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Yeah. I spent today working on my grill, and I told you about that.
Oh yeah. No, I get it. I tell people I'm a pain in the butt, but as far as being a guest, I'm very low maintenance. You just tell me where I need to be, and I have been told that I am going to be on back of the cereal box at 9 a.m. on Saturday mornings.
And KT's
like that's going to happen.
KT,
well, not for you, but
yeah, KT and TD said they want you on the Oracle of Delphi.
Okay.
Friday at 10.
You know what?
In the evening?
Really
in the evening, yeah.
That's doable.
You know what's
I'll go anywhere, Joe. You just point me.
Is Sunday night at HallowCon when all of us show up on Cryptid Crunch as people that Keisha is looking for. And Willow's going, wait, we know where they are. No.
All right. I'm sure no one's paying attention. One of y'all run off one of the pictures that Carl has of me with my horns and wave it around in the background. Since I can't be there, wave it around in the background of Cryptid Crunch so that,
Manatee Man.
Manatee Man, that's for marketing. But I haven't been doing that shit because the strap broke and I have to repair my horns by next week. But
I will
just cut your hair and we'll see the real ones.
No, see, they were here, but I buffed them
Oh,
with an angle grinder. I
Yeah,
watched Ron
I was about
Perlman
to
do it,
say.
and it seemed like a good
Mhm.
idea.
Wore out 17 discs on that angle grinder.
Yeah.
I told you to buy the DeWalt, not the tool shop brand.
What do
Craftsman,
you think I have
Craftsman,
made
come
of
on
money?
now.
Like, I gotta save up.
Craftsman
for
isn't even
hardwood
Craftsman
flake
anymore.
coupons.
So did you go to Harbor Freight?
Yeah, about that Harbor Freight brand.
Now, I am the proud Carl. I have so many tarps because free with any purchase. Oh, 25-cent click knife. Get the tarp. Why? Might need one.
Your background may
Hey.
attack you again.
Hey, Josh, before I forget about it, who beat number 7 Penn State today in 9 overtimes?
Fighting a
These guys.
Yep.
Beware of the blobby.
So
creeps.
Josh, how bad did Alabama beat Tennessee?
I think the final was 54 to 20 something.
All right. Well, you saw how I phrased it, didn't you?
Oh yes. I thought I don't know why they keep put Luke in there, but that about gave me a heart attack. But yes, they won.
I think Laura was asking me, she said, how did they get 9 overtimes in that game? And I said, it's that new ruling that they have, which you could probably explain it better, Josh, than what I could, but
I really can't.
it really helped them.
Yeah. But I think they have to go for 2 every time after the second one or something like that. I can't remember what exactly it is, but
What is
I
it?
thought
The game
Brian
keeps going
froze
until
up, and then he
Tennessee
blinked,
loses?
and I nearly jumped. I'm sorry, you were sitting there, you were listening, Brian, and you're in listening mode, and I'm looking, and I'm watching for a hair to move or something. Like,
Oh, Donna,
I think he
I'm
froze up, and then
sorry,
he blinked.
I
And
didn't
it's like,
see the R in grills.
oh, but
Oh,
Sorry
sorry.
to scare you, Nick.
It's all right. It's all right. You know, it's that time of year. But
That's right. When
Oh,
Brian
and
freezes.
and Brian, there's also a surprise guest that was supposed to be a surprise to you, but they sort of spoiled it.
Yeah, if it's who I'm thinking of, they told me.
Yeah,
Bobby?
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? When you're connected like I am, you know, Jog.
I
You
mean,
just
I
learn
was
things.
wanting him to just sort of show up and say, just walk in and walk up to your table.
You'll be up there going, get that bat book off your table. That's the one I'm selling.
What would you have done if
Undercutted by
you just
25
looked up
cents.
at a convention and saw Bobby Nash standing there?
I would probably have that moment of disassociation. You know how when you see people, like, say you see them at school, then
Yeah.
you see them like at a supermarket, and it's like, this is not where I normally see them, and I should know them, but they do not have the surroundings in which the environment with which I would recognize them. So I probably like. He looks an awful lot like Bobby Nash. He sounds like him too, because he's talked for like 20 minutes without taking a breath.
Yeah.
What you do is you just
I
look
love
up
you,
and
Doc.
go, if you ain't buying nothing, move along, sucker.
Yeah. Hey, I got a book of writing here. You think you could use it? Anyway.
Holler out, hey, Snow!
Oh, hey, I can't complain. The next volume of Snow Shorts has my story in it. So
that I just got a PM that kind of startled me for a second there, and I'm going, oh, yes, it won't be till after HallowCon. The next issue of Apelian will be the Sunday after HallowCon. I don't have to get
Do it, Ace.
an editorial
Read Ace's comment.
Do it, Ace.
Do it, Ace. Hey, Ace, somebody has already done a cosplay of me. I was doing Clever Tile Pending. In fact, it was about a year ago. I think Nick remembers this. And my guest was Master Ron Fitzgerald, who is an illusionist out of the Chicago area, and a dear friend of mine. And he calls me like just before the show. He goes, Brian, I'm putting together my own show for Halloween night, and we've got to film something for it. Can you just vamp for about 5 minutes or so? And next thing I know, 45 minutes later, I'm still talking, waiting for Ron to show up. And then I see, like in StreamYard, you see the little window down below, what's going out to the audience. Yeah. And I see, of course, I'm in the moment. I just look at it. The only person who knows where it is Master Ron Fitzgerald, the master of dark, sticky magic. Fitzgerald'sRealm.com. Always promote your friends. But anyway, I click on that thing, and here's this guy who normally looks like Nosferatu. Okay. And he shows up wearing a fez, a bow tie, glasses, and paper mache sideburns. And I lost it. I just totally lost it. I could not stop laughing. And he was so in character as me. It was terrifying. And then the thing is, I go up to his house the following, whenever Halloween, I think it was a Friday, whenever Halloween was that last year. Or
Saturday.
Last year. And there on his refrigerator, see, now Bill knows what's going on here. The women are going to be pounding on that door any second now. And officer, that's the man. Anyway, but the thing is, I went up to Ron's house in Chicago, and there on his refrigerator were my sideburns. And he's like, "You want them?" And I'm like, "Not now, no."
The refrigerator's worn them. I don't need them now.
Yeah, I don't know where your refrigerator is.
They've been stretched.
Yeah. So I told him he could keep my sideburns, and the boy was very happy. So.
Oh Lord.
So that's why the Brian cosplay is very in this year, and Ace, just be aware. It's going to look like an old high karate commercial. People chasing you, and look that up on YouTube if you don't know what that is.
No, Bill, if you
asking you where you parked your little tiny car, but
yes,
Bill, if you talk to Dallas before Monday, let him know tornadoes possible Monday.
Yeah,
Let's go jog south.
I know we got a system coming through up here tomorrow, and Brian, that should affect you too.
It will not.
They're talking a lot of thunderstorms and high winds and that, but right now the only thing active that I'm seeing on here is a flash flood watch.
Yeah, I was about to say tornadoes is going to be in Missouri.
John, watch out!
Right behind you.
That's like King Kong looking in the window at John there.
Big Brother is watching you.
Don't pick his nose, John, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I can do that myself.
There he goes.
Yeah, it's good.
I had an itch.
I think I got
even his boogers are rainbow colored.
Gentlemen, you do realize that there will be people wandering around with cameras at HallowCon, and we are going to wind up on somebody's live stream.
Oh yeah.
So somebody bring your A game.
Oh yeah. Y'all will be on TikTok and everywhere else.
Who are these strange white guys?
Hey,
guys. I want to see it in the con sweep.
Hey, I'll bring my C game because you got to see what I'm going to be doing.
Your C game.
Dan's been to convention with me before. You never know what I'm going to do, what I'm going to say, or how I'm going to do it.
Joe, I've never been at a convention you're running before. I don't expect to see anything but a Roadrunner blur going by for the entire weekend.
Now what you got to do is get some of that electric tape and a blinking light to click on the back of his collar for safety purposes, because he's Brian,
I will get Brian and Dan, John. If you hear this phrase, "make a hole," get out of the way.
Use your own. Yeah. I'm sorry, Navy household reflex. I'm sorry.
I'll just throw myself to one side, Joe Dog. Thank you for the warning.
You hear me scream, "make a hole," get out of the way. And it's usually going to be close to the area that you're going to be in, because there's only one little narrowed up area that everybody's got to go through. And when you hear me coming through, make a hole, there's a problem.
Yeah. His
And-
wife is chasing him with a frying pan, basically.
And you need to do one of two things.
You think Ted's in trouble?
Get out of the way and keep up.
Yeah.
Because
if he's
wherever I'm
running
going
fast,
to,
something's chasing him.
something's wrong, and I'm going to need help. And it's probably me having a heart attack.
Do the old SNL thing. The guy's beating their chest.
Starting to regret.
The Bears.
Starting to regret I can't come
Oh.
over there.
That's all right. I believe it'll probably be all over social media within 30 seconds of us doing anything.
We're going to have a lot to answer for on Monday morning. That's all I've got to say.
As long as we don't have to answer to the police, I don't
Yeah.
care.
That's what I was about to say.
Hey, I will say this.
The CIA and the FBI can answer
Other
to you. Know, it's
70s
really,
and
I
80s
don't know.
fans,
I was
yes,
really
but not
drunk
the
at the
police.
time. But
what is
The vendors in my vendors hall are absolutely phenomenal.
Okay.
The last year we were there, a pipe broke over the main artist's table.
Ooh.
And it just started dumping water.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I mean, they grabbed stuff and was pulling it out of the way and everything. And I'm running, trying to get everything. Within 15 minutes, we had him set up in a new location, and he didn't lose a piece of art.
Nice.
there you go.
Very cool.
He said, now I know what a NASCAR pit team looks like. He said it was just like a choreography. People were grabbing stuff, and he goes, I didn't lose one piece of art.
Wow.
I don't believe NASCAR. This would be a NASA pit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No joke.
We're used to rocket science.
That'd be an Elon pit team now.
Yeah, armchair rocket science.
Sarah, we don't allow tasers anymore.
That's because somebody used one on Joe.
No,
He doesn't
he had one in
remember
his
it now,
pocket
but
and
yes, they
sat
did.
down and like tased himself
They use-
for 35 minutes.
Now,
They use cattle prods now.
one of my brother-in-laws did do that.
Oh, shit.
Taser,
Taser.
taser in his pocket, sat down, and it was enough pressure to hit the switch.
Oh, no.
Bet that felt nice.
I love watching how the ugly
Is it
face
late
went
enough for
through
me
the
to
whole
react
crowd
to
on
that?
that remark.
Yeah, it's 11. Yeah, it's 11:30 my time. So yeah,
Oh,
you're
His
good.
ass up.
Ride
It's
the line.
12:30 your time.
Like a fluorescent light on the space station.
12:30 for me and Brian. We're pros. See?
And Brian, I've got a new channel for you to watch on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh,
Patty Mayo.
Yes, I know about Patty Mayo. Yes.
oh, I heard that name years ago. Yes.
Yeah.
Patty Mayo is a young guy. He's a bail bondsman.
Right.
Oh, the one I heard was a young lady.
No, he's a bail bondsman
She was a musician.
who catches, revoked bond.
Right.
And the one I saw, this guy was trying to keep his wife from going back to jail. And he kept walking towards them. They kept backing up, kept back up. He goes, all right, I'm up against the house. I cannot back up anymore. You take one more step forward, I will tase you.
Mm-hmm.
The guy intentionally lifted his foot up and said, tase.
Oh, no.
And
Oh, no.
he shot him. And the guy went from super badass to stroke victim.
Yes. I watch a lot of those First Amendment Frauditor and Sovereign Citizen BS videos, and I saw one last week where some guy was,
Good night, Donna.
Hi, Donna. Get to sleep.
And anyway, he was going on and going through the usual script about, do you have authority and all this. And he kept going round and round, same thing. And finally, the police chief got out there, and he made it very clear that he had the authority and he wasn't putting up with it anymore. And at one point, the guy tries to roll up his window, and the police chief just sticks his hand in through the window with the taser, like about yay close to the guy's neck, and lets it go at one point. and he did a quick, in like about half a millisecond, attitude adjustment. He went from you can't do anything to me to I'll do anything you command me to do. So it was highly gratifying.
The police have a phrase for that. You know what it's called?
Ride the lightning.
Ride the lightning.
Yeah, I know several people on our local police force,
Yeah.
and they have to go through like the military does with
Yeah.
tear gas. Well, the police have to do that with pepper spray, and they have to get tased before they can hit the street. And each and every one I've talked to said, I'd rather get that pepper spray.
Yeah, I was about to say pepper spray, nothing.
Yeah, it's no fun, but it's apparently
It's nothing compared to the taser.
Yeah, Hey, I've been electrocuted. I've never been tased, but I've been electrocuted before.
I have too.
I don't know.
No.
You pull it, no.
You can't.
That straight off the car batteries that launches you.
Hey,
Man,
Joe.
give me the AC. At least you catch your breath in the frequency.
Did you ever see Goomba's video where he went through the taser class?
No.
He actually got somebody to use his phone to video him getting tased. And two guys are standing on either side of him. They hit him with the taser and he starts to go down. They grab his arms, keep him from hitting the floor. That's
Now, I have been working on a car in a pair of gym shorts, leaned over and accidentally knocked the coil wire loose.
That'll grab you.
And Damian Wahlberg. Damian is also one of our vendors this year.
Right. We need his toys.
So the rising tide is taking coming.
Commandeering the con.
Invasion.
Karma Chameleon. What?
It's a northern invasion.
We come and go. It's okay, Bill.
Yeah.
This is not the second war of northern aggression. Please don't put that on.
I forgot to ask Donna how her home free concert was tonight before she left.
She said it was great. She said
did she? Okay.
Yeah, I talked to her earlier. She said it was fantastic. Even Carl probably enjoyed it, although he may not have admit it.
Well,
I know she had to drag him there.
They have good music.
I'm a sucker for a good acapella group since
Oh, me too. I love acapella.
It's pure music.
Yeah.
And how does Barney Fife sing acapella? Acapella, acapella.
Damien says,
I'm just in KY, not Northern.
And so this is where the party is. Yep.
Right here, buddy.
Where you least expect it. We said party, and Dad Hallfield materializes magically.
That's better than me showing up when you guys mentioned what was it, KY jelly? I think it was
preparation.
Preparation H.
Better entrance than I made. So.
Well, preparation BKM.
Right in there.
It's a real pain in the butt.
Oh, Josh has been away for a little while, and Nick, came back tonight. But Brian, if you regular on this show and you disappear for a while and you come back, you have your own intro now.
Okay.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
I love it. I feel honored now.
Whereas if I've been on night shift and I come back, they go, "Oh, you again?"
Yeah, Dan's back.
Yeah.
I want my intro to be.
You've got to miss more than 3 shows, Dan.
Yeah.
I have missed more than 3 shows.
I've done that before.
But Bill, were you the one who was sharing the Benny Hill clips on the secret? Thank you. You don't understand. I had a weird upbringing. To make a Nick, you need equal parts Mr. Rogers and Benny Hill presented at the same time to a small child to really get the kind of warpdom of my logic, and just
Growing
so-
up, my dad never did like or understand Monty Python, but then when Benny Hill come on, he loved it. So I said, "Okay, Dad, here's some British humor that you enjoy. We do have a bond after all."
I don't think the world is ready for Mr. Hill's Neighborhood.
Yeah.
Why? What do you think my channel is? It's Mr. Hill's Neighborhood, but with swords. I mean, come on. No.
It's true.
And you
Got
deal
it.
in propane and propane
Propane
accessories.
accessories.
Miss-
But only for the people who know the safe word of the week. Oh, I'm sorry, you
With
meant
the
the other
cat.
kind of
Oh,
propane.
Mr. Hill's Neighborhood, isn't that called Mrs. Brown's Boys?
Al Bundy. Yeah, see,
yeah,
okay. Ace Bonnie said from my childhood it was Al Bundy. As a kid, I thought Al Bundy and Married with Children was humor. Growing up and looking back, it was a fairly accurate documentary of life in Chicagoland in that period. Like, it's more accurate than I suspect that 70s show ever was. And like, you know, the look on John. See, y'all think I'm joking, but to get John to turn that color that fast, you have to know I am speaking the Lord's.
By the way, speaking of that, when is that 90s show supposed to come out? I heard some of the regular cast is coming back.
It's supposed to be soon, and as long as it has Red Foreman offering to put a boot in somebody's for being a dumbass, I'm for it as a rule. But I don't see Topher Grace ever having the testosterone necessary to generate that kind of role. I'm sorry, I'm telling the truth again, and I'm going to get in trouble. But
Now, when is the cast of that 2000 show going to get out on parole?
Yeah.
You mean Jersey Shore?
As far as I know, Jersey's an island off the coast of England. So
sometimes we wish New Jersey was an island, but
New Jersey. I think they have cows there.
No, what was the one with the Olsen twins in it?
Fuller House.
When they were babies. Full House, yeah. Fuller House.
And they did Fuller House, and it was kind of hit or miss. I'm more excited that they're redoing Night Court. They're doing something with Night Court.
Yeah.
And it's going to have John Larroquette.
Yeah.
And as Night Court was one of the funniest programs ever made.
True.
If they have quality, now a lot of it had to do with Harry Anderson, but that was an amazing cast and it was a different time. I don't know if we could have that level of self-depreciating humor really flourish.
Who's left from the original cast?
John.
Him.
Larroquette. Yeah, because
John,
Richard
yeah,
Hall died,
that's pretty
didn't
much
he?
it. Maybe is Ellen Foley still alive?
No, they're all gone.
No,
Yeah.
I remember Ellen Foley, Marky Post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the older cast obviously went pretty quick.
Yeah.
The guy who played Mac, whose name fell out. Yeah. John
Yeah.
Aston even. He was
Right. Brent
like
Spiner.
you'd be hard pressed to find frequent guest stars still alive.
Right.
Although I
Now,
bet Brett Spiner would do it.
Oh, Britt
Well-
Spiner'd be there in a heartbeat. Now,
Yeah.
you know who's
Probably.
playing Judge
Brett
Stone, don't
Spiner to
you?
attend the opening of an envelope. I
I
swear.
can't
Yeah.
remember the lady's name.
Melissa Rauch.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. That.
Big
Bernadette from Big Bang.
Yes, and
Yeah.
she could do it.
And
She's funny.
And she's going to use her real voice.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Oh, good.
I watched, speaking of reboots, about 3 episodes now
Yeah.
of The Wonder Years. And I was amped up, geared up to watch this. When Everybody Hates Chris came out, which I thought was the original, I guess the next version of The Wonder Years, I loved that. And Chris Rock was just amazing, let alone everybody else in there. This show, I'm sorry. I don't know, the writers, the actors, definitely the writers. It's just not doing it. It is bland. It is boring. It's not even really with the times. And I can say a few other things, but I won't. But I just will tell you, I probably won't watch it next Wednesday after the Goldbergs are over. I'll just switch the channel.
That's a
Well,
sad thing because
the-
Dooley Hill's a wonderful.
What I've noticed with TV comedy is they try not to hurt anybody's feelings and still be funny.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
You can do
Well-
one or the other most of the time. Well, you see, it's also, it's like while you guys were talking, I was thinking of one of my favorite Britcoms, Coupling
Mm.
from Stephen Moffat. The original is brilliant. They did an American version of it with the guy who was the star of Eureka was the Maytag
Craig Ferguson, I think.
Yeah, Ferguson,
Yeah.
right. And then Rena Soford had a great cast. They even used pretty much, I'd say about 97% of the original pilot script. And whereas the British show just had this wonderful chemistry, the remake was god awful.
Mhm.
It, just something in the timing, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's like the inclusion of a laugh track, whatever, which throws off the timing.
Well,
But,
see,
it was terrible. I
British-
couldn't watch. I didn't even watch the rest of it. It didn't last
Did
very
you know
long.
that they actually tried to do an American version of Red Dwarf twice
Yes.
and
they
never
both-
could get it right?
And
Well,
how many times in the 70s did they try to make an American version of Faulty Towers?
Uh-huh.
They just kept getting worse and worse.
Yeah, I think that one's called Days of Our Lives.
Get out! Don't
But,
be knocking
well-
the soap there, man.
I was real recently. We went through the whole of Black Books, which has God, I cannot remember any of the actors' names of it, but it's one of those British shows. If you get a chance to see it, it is dreadfully funny. But British comedy tends to be more intelligent. Yeah, I can see that,
I could too.
but it's also honestly they're willing to make fun of themselves in such a way that it's organically, because that's how British humor works. It's dry and it doesn't have the arrogance. And I don't think most American actors can laugh at themselves for who they are enough.
Yeah.
Beyond
Well, that's
sort
why
of
Last of the
flaw.
Summer Wine lasted for 5,000 years,
Oh no!
going
kidding.
through how many different.
It was the same episode every time, too.
Yeah, and
Same with Hello.
And I loved it. I loved
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
Well, Father Ted.
oh love Campo.
Father Ted. Oh my God, yes. Or
When Campo died, I cried and cried and cried.
Are You
Now,
Being Served is like what did they say? It was done in the 50s, started in the 50s? Because, I mean,
Are You Being Served actually started in the late 60s.
Late
The first
60s.
season was
Yeah.
black and white. And one of the guys who created it used to be on Laugh-In, Jeremy Lloyd.
Yeah.
And then it was on for between the regular show and specials for about
and the
10
season
years.
And-
series.
Are You Being Served Again? Just
And
didn't do it.
it didn't
No, I
do
saw
it-
an American version of Are You Being Served. It was okay up to a point. Then Alan Suze was on there from Laugh-In.
That's very. I'm sorry, Damien
It's great,
Wall.
but he was dreadful. He was just like way over the top.
That's amazing.
It's good. It would have been good casting though.
But yeah. But what's great about it is you can turn on
Nice.
one of the original season 1 episodes, and literally any of them, throw it at a wall, turn it on, and save for 1 or 2 references to specific actors or media figures. It is still hilarious and still as subtly poignant.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, that the humor has depth. They're making fun, but they're making fun of a real thing. It's not like, I hate to say it, every sitcom has the same pattern where the dad is dumber than the mom is dumber than the son is dumber than the daughter is dumber than the dog or mascot.
Right.
And it's literally like the same thing. Every white guy is a middle-aged alcoholic who is like sports obsessed. I mean, like I'm to the point where it's like, can we drop this trope now? You know, it's like it's not even funny. Yeah, exactly.
Now, I actually like the reboot of Johnny Quest, but I couldn't figure out why they were calling it Venture Brothers.
Now you're going to talk about C-Lab 2021.
Not on your life.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Adult Swim redubbed the old C-Labs. Yes. Well, Mel Brooks is just called funny. Anyway, that's called comedy.
Mel Brooks is going to be producing and writing for a Hulu original series of History of the World Part 1.
No, it's Part 2.
Why they don't call it
Part
Part 2, I don't know. But
No, it's called Part 2.
It's called Part 2. It's supposed to be a sequel to the movie. Yeah.
I can't wait to see June's face. That thing has a very special effect.
Brian?
Yes.
Thank you, Sarah.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
No, I do not.
You need to get Amazon Prime.
Yes,
but I get work done. That's the problem.
Yeah. They are coming out. I think it's in December. It's with a movie called Being the Ricardos.
Oh yeah, said
it's a behind the scene. And here's the cast: Nicole Kidman is Lucille.
Perfect.
Javier Bardem is Ricky. Nina Arianda is Vivian Vance.
Mm-hmm.
William Frawley, J.K. Simmons.
Oh wow, he's too tall, but that can work.
Now, see, Brian, I will say you really need to look into. I have Amazon Prime because people forget that was originally an add-on for the shipping discount service. That was something that people.
That's right. Yeah.
And I save because I order my office supplies and I order a lot of things, especially with this COVID stuff.
Sure.
It pays for itself in shipping if you order stuff from Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't apply to my author books, which cheeses me. I really think it should.
I get that.
But
I'm in the same picture.
Ow.
But other than that, yeah, we pay.
The
30 seconds early.
John. Hey, one thing here for people who are fans of the Lucy and Ricky back in the day. There is a movie called the Long Trailer.
Oh yeah,
the long trailer.
Right.
I would highly recommend that.
Good movie.
Yep.
Especially
it's very
if you
underrated.
Especially if you've gone camping with a trailer and a wife.
Do you remember
Hollywood studio?
You remember when they were talking about there was a cartoon where they were talking about the future and everything that the future would have, all the appliances and stuff like that, and they showed the car of the future that had the husband and wife up front, kids in the back seat, and had the special little capsule that hung off the back for the mother-in-law.
For grandma.
Oh
yeah.
yes.
That was a Disney, wasn't it?
I think it was MGM.
That was a Looney Tunes. Yeah.
Okay.
I just can't remember.
There's ways to get around.
I was thinking it was a Tex Avery, but I might be wrong.
There's ways to get around that price.
How great is it that
the mother-in-law's seat was an ejector seat. So,
I don't know if you guys know this. The Tex Avery School is being rediscovered.
Yeah,
and that's what's coming down the pipe after.
I didn't know it had been lost.
Well, we went through a period where animation went straight to pot. I'm sorry, I understand stylistic choices. I watch anime, I watch a lot of things, but the hyper simplified. It started with Steven Universe, which actually has writing behind it. but kind of spread over to Adventure Time and all these other things where the art was just junk. I mean, I hate to say it, it just looked
Pickle and
like
peanut.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and to hear that they're starting to pull back to the Tex Avery school to the point where they're trying to rebuild artists because we're going to have an arc where the kids who grew up watching their parents' cartoons. It's like not too long ago there was a big spike in interest in Fraggle Rock, of all things, to pull a left field. So you see that
Shades of
pop
Ralph
up.
Bakshi.
Yeah, right.
So
Let me know when they rediscover the Fleischer brothers.
Now we're
Yeah.
talking.
Hey,
Yeah.
Rich the Cat is
Big
coming out
Hit
on
is called
Blu-ray.
Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, I'm talking
there's
the original
some talk.
Superman series. Yeah.
Oh, Filmation.
All right, guys, we're going to have to start wrapping up real quick. I want to.
Oh bugger!
Yeah.
I got to go to a new window.
Yep.
Mouse.
Anybody interested? Private chat has the link to the next show, which is The Last Man Standing.
I will catch y'all on the side.
With that guy.
Yeah, with Dan. Want to thank everybody. Thank you, Brian, for being here, representing
you.
the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. It's good to
Thank
have
you
the
all.
president in here, keeping us in line, which he had
Now
failed
we just get
horribly.
Elon Musk on.
What? Biden's here?
Yeah, I lead from the back. So it's
He
okay.
wouldn't know if he was. Don't worry
That's why I
about it.
want you in front of me.
He's the
I told I
hindmost.
can't.
uneasy sits the
Yeah,
the
Jack.
the
Make a
boss.
hole. Make a hole.
Mm.
I learned. I wrote it down.
Use your
All
own.
right.
Uh,
All
Did
right.
you say you put the link in
Private chat.
private chat?
Private
Yeah.
chat.
Over there.
the stupid o'clock thing?
On
Yeah.
this right here.
Oh, okay.
Right underneath brand and banners and comments. Oh my.
Yeah, I don't even see it.
I don't know what.
see,
I don't know
I
if we
see
can
the
afford to
comments.
give Chris
Find it.
30 minutes. I don't know what.
Yeah,
you can
I just
do.
jumped
30
over
minutes.
to private chat and I just see John saying back in a few.
No, I've got it.
It should say okay.
Yeah,
Josh said,
it says okay.
Josh
And
and Joe Dog.
Oh, okay. I see it now.
all right.
Okay.
I'm here to help.
Chris Walker
And
needs
follow
30
me
minutes.
for more
I only
life
need
hacks.
3 steps, mister.
Yeah.
Just give me 3 steps, mister, and I'll be out the door.
yes, sir.
All right. Let's say goodnight,
That's what you
everybody.
get for messing with Linda Lou.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye, Candias.
Toodle.
Oh, I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.